What's up guys, Nolan here with a quick info dump on what exactly we're waiting on for the coming Escape from Tarkov Patch 12.12. This is to try to help keep you guys as informed as possible, seeing as there hasn't been any solid structure or a roadmap from BSG on any of the most recent updates. Which, speaking of, that makes it pretty difficult to keep track of this stuff, and it can change at any moment, so please remember that all of this is subject to change. It's also gathered from sporadic and partially mumbled chats from a tired man who isn't speaking their maiden language, which definitely keeps things interesting. However, this info is as accurate as it can be at the time of this recording when referring to public information from BSG. If you guys haven't noticed, we also have some new barters for the Ollie Logistics key if you ended up needing that, the weapons case, the thick weapons case, and dog tag case, where BSG also removed water from therapists during this heatwave event. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you check out my most recent video. That'll be in the description. If you do know what I'm talking about, I think this is a test of the player-driven economy on an artificially manipulated item, which turns out to be a pretty good test, but we're going to speak more about that later. Now, for the main topic with Escape from Tarkov Patch 12.12, when it comes to maps, no, Streets is not planned for 12.12. I know that's not news to a lot of you guys out there, but you'll be surprised how many times I get asked about stuff like that. Remember that we're going to be getting the Lighthouse location before Streets, and not even Lighthouse will be ready for 12.12. In general, other than maybe some lighting or graphical updates, there shouldn't be any environmental changes in 12.12 as of right now. For major features, we have VOIP, Underbarrel grenade launchers, Unity 19, and Inertia. These features, along with what would be a buttload of new gear, likely including color variations of the old, as they've liked adding those over the past few patches. Example is the different color of slicks and whatnot. Then for new guns, we're looking at the SCAR and its variants, whether it be 5.56, 308, and maybe 6.8. We're gonna have to wait and see. But we also have the USB 45 as well. I think we'll see some more additions to that list, seeing as we have so many guns on the backlog already. But again, we're gonna have to wait and see. No matter what anyone says, VOIP is publicly confirmed. VOIP is coming to Tarkov. I've been saying this for months, and I don't know why it's still not common knowledge around the community. Nikita has been talking about this for months now, and he has confirmed it is coming to Tarkov, guys. Now, Nikita is terrified of VOIP, but he agrees that it needs to be in the game, so it will be coming to the game. I know lots of big names out there like to talk about VOIP and how it's going to be implemented, but the true public information at this point is that it hasn't had its uses confirmed yet. What I mean by that is whether or not it will be open to everyone, whether it will be proximity chat, or if it will require extra equipment like a radio to use. All we know from a public perspective right now is that VOIP is coming to the game, and it is currently planned for patch 12.12. That's it. Inertia is also the next big ask. We don't know specifics, but I can guess it will look a lot like Squad or other realistic shooters, where there's a bit more physics involved and sway with the motion of your player character in game. Theoretically, this will end the 80-80 spam we see everywhere, which I know there's a lot of people out there who are glad to be seeing that. I also would not be surprised if we get some more animations along with this, like the low ready or hand swapping, but that's not confirmed. I'm just thinking from a development perspective, while the team is working on Inertia, it would be handy to hit the other animations involved with it, but we'll see. When we last heard from Nikita, it was possible to get Underbarrel grenade launchers in for patch 12.12, and I'm adding a smidge extra confidence to that, seeing as the SCAR is also planned for 12.12. So specifically, what I think we'll see is at the very least the GL40 become an attachable object to the SCAR. We may not see all of the other planned Underbarrel grenade launchers, but I do think it's likely that we see the GL40 on the SCAR with its introduction to the game. Then we have Unity 19 and all the misunderstood benefits that come along with it. Long story short, for anyone who hasn't caught my video on this specifically, Unity 19 will primarily add something special that will allow the devs to work on art quicker. In theory, this will allow them to complete maps and assets more efficiently. There's also a bunch of improvements to environmental effects like lighting and volumetric fog. There's apparently also something that will help solve the audio issues that we're having with Steam audio. Apparently, as Nikita mentioned, a lot of improved audio in patch 12.12 and a sound overhaul afterwards. And I know there was a little bit of misinformation that went out with this. No, Unity 19 will not need a wipe. The next wipe is not going to happen for 6 months at least at this point. That's everything solid that we have for 12.12. Let's just hope that BSG can give us a real dev update like a Tarkov TV or a forum post or something for this one to actually support all of the guesswork that we're having to do to be able to keep track of progress these days. I've reached out for a new Q&A with Nikita, which I doubt will go through, but we'll see. So I will of course let you guys know what happens with that. The last thing I wanted to cover today was that I'm hoping that you guys that actually want the game to come out eventually and for it to actually be good are able to realize the difference between giving proper feedback on something something that you don't agree with and straight up disrespect or even hate. It's been BSG's plan from the start to have unique events pop up randomly. We are in a testing environment for the final product, so this is the exact time that BSG should be taking these risks and testing these ideas so that we can give proper feedback on them and allow for possible changes to them. Any of you guys who actually think constantly spewing negativity and being overly disrespectful to BSG on social media are helping the game by doing that are actually just making it more difficult for them to want to interact with the community. BSG have literally had people quit because of the community as well, so I see anyone being overly disrespectful as a nuisance and a threat to the future of the game that I would like to see completed. Now, if you're wondering what they could be testing or doing with events like this, for those who don't know, weather is going to be a factor in Escape from Tarkov, and there will also be a DLC for extreme weather like snow and advanced storms. Then we have the economic side of these things, where they've now decided to remove water from Therapist, making the only out-of-raid source of hydration completely player-driven. BSG are monitoring the economy around the object in high demand, and I'm sure they might also have some data on consumables in stashes as well. The event might suck for some of us just starting out or low on cash, but it's a great test for artificial high-value items and player-driven economy. Water was not considered a problem whatsoever up until they removed it and then turned up the heat. So the same can be done for practically anything in the game, and it can actually make things interesting as the days go on, which would actually add some difference to the day-to-day play of Escape from Tarkov, and it's also their plan. Which, speaking of, BSG have a master plan for this kind of stuff, so just let them work it without being toxic to them for testing the stuff that they actually want to put in the game. We'll see what new events might pop up later. That's all for today, guys. Try to keep that list in mind when discussing what's next for patch 12.12 in Escape from Tarkov, and try to think about the effects of your quote-unquote feedback on the future of the game. The devs do spend a lot of time in the community, so it means a lot to actually give proper feedback for this stuff. And with that, if you are looking for people to play with, we have a Discord of almost 8,000 people now with a unique system set up to know who you can trust in harsh games like Tarkov. If you're interested, you can check out the link in the description. If you are looking for the latest Escape from Tarkov news, you can check out these playlists here. If you like this video, then you know the drill. Please subscribe. I really appreciate the people who do. Otherwise, I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.